what we do is we expose the people who are speed breeding tigers, ripping the cubs from their mothers, and then pimping them out to people in pay-to-play sessions. And I first noticed Joe Exotic, Joe Schreibvogel, I think back in about, oh goodness, maybe 2004 or so. And I had commented on a news story about him saying that he had tiger cubs being born at what he called a sanctuary, and sanctuaries do not breed tigers. And so over the years, I discovered that he had 21 different aliases that he was working under. And the reason people do that is to hide all of their misdeeds from the public. So I had put up a page at 911animalabuse.com entitled Joe Schreibvogel that listed all of his aliases so that people would know it was all the same guy. And of course, that did not make me very popular with him. There's really nothing different about Joe Schreibvogel from any of, I'd say, probably 8 or 10 big cub petting operations. The only thing that brought this to a head is that he was more careless about threatening me in public, and then of course hiring an FBI agent to kill me made him very easy to catch. The common practice at facilities like Joe Schreibvogel's is that they are constantly breeding tigers. A tiger like her in the wild would have maybe 10 or 12 cubs over her entire lifetime. In these speed breeding facilities, they'll have 10 or 12 cubs in a year, and they just breed the mothers to death to take the cubs away so that people can pose having their picture made with a cub. It's the same situation at a number of places across the United States and Mexico. I think the only thing that separates Joe from the rest is that he got caught and he's now in jail. I think there are a number of other people doing the same thing that should be tried and should be convicted as well. People want to make this a personal feud between the two of us, and it's not. It's a matter of morals and ethics. There's nobody who is breeding tiger cubs and ripping them from their mothers and using them as props who I would consider to be a good person.
She's a plain out hypocrite. She literally does everything that I do.
I think Joe's first threats dated to around 2010 or 2011 when he was making kind of veiled threats toward me. We got a lawsuit against him because he started using our name and part of our logo as his traveling show to try and discredit us, so that whenever he was out there abusing cats, people thought it was us. And we couldn't let him do that. So we ended up having to sue him, and we got a $1.2 million consent judgment against him. Once we got that, I think he thought he could just go to bankruptcy court and make it go away, but he found out that wasn't the case. And so his threats became more and more outrageous and more direct toward the specific things that he was going to do to me. And so we documented those over the years. But then he was trying from, I'd say probably about 2011 until about 2015, he was trying to get his followers to kill me and couldn't get anybody to do it just because they loved him so much. And so by 2015 is when I started finding out that he was trying to actually hire people to kill me. In 2015 was when I got the first call from Jackie Thompson saying that Joe Exotic had offered to pay her husband to kill me, and her husband was a sniper. So that was when these threats became so much more real to me, because now he was putting cash on the table to try and snuff me out. I know Joe tries to say that he's just eccentric and he's just crazy and he just makes a lot of noise, but that was his only defense in this entire thing. I don't think anybody thought that he wasn't serious. Over the years, we've had a number of people come to us who had worked for Joe, who felt that he was out to kill me, and they discovered after working with him for a while how much and how bad he was using the cats. And so they would reach out to me and ask if I would help get them out of there, because he runs kind of a cult-like situation where he attracts these people who are often derelicts and have no family support, no way to get out of there, and so they're completely dependent on him once they get there. And so they would ask if we would help get them out and get them to a safe place.
They have a heart and a soul and a mind. I've learned from them. But Carole Baskin keeps saying, I can't have these tigers.
If he ever had an enemy in his life, it was Carole Baskin.
He made one of these very pointed threats where he was blowing the head off of a blow-up doll dressed to look like me, or he was blowing things up and saying that that was how he was going to kill me, or he was showing pictures of my house on the internet and saying, I know where she is, I can take her out. When he started doing things like that, we would send those to the local police there in Garvin County. I tried contacting Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department here. We contacted the FBI, and it seemed like no one was taking him serious. It wasn't until, I think, November of 2017 that the FBI got a tip from somebody inside Joe's camp who said he's trying to pay people to kill her and you guys need to do something, and that's when they put the FBI agent in place. I live in a place where you can't see any of your neighbors, and so I never had to have curtains on my windows, but now I had to install blinds. I installed security cameras. During the period of time that the FBI was telling me there was an imminent threat, I was carrying a gun. I had to stop riding my bicycle to and from work, which is something I really enjoy doing. I took all the car magnets off of my cars that said Big Cat Rescue. I couldn't wear my logo out in public anywhere. I had to take a really low profile during that period of time because I just didn't know what imminent threat meant or who might be coming. I think the reason that Joe Exotic was posting such horrible acts online against me was to dehumanize me and to embolden his supporters so that they would kill me on his behalf. I think he would have loved that.
It's not every day that a zookeeper went to prison for murder for hire.
I was so relieved he was found guilty because he's such a great con artist, and all he had to do was con one person on that 12-person jury, and it would have been a hung jury. So I was really relieved that no one there fell for any of his nonsense. I hope he gets the maximum sentence by law, because if that's the case, he will most likely die of old age in jail. And the main reason that I hope he gets such a strong sentence is because I hope it will deter all of these other people who are doing the exact same thing that he's doing from continuing down that path of abusing animals and threatening those of us who speak out against it.